Peace, my family, and right back to all the woke ones out there. Those coming out of that good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This is your girl, the butterfly, and we about to take off. That's why I just want to send you all that good healing energy your way, and hope you all are out there keeping your mind right in that good nine mind. How y'all feeling today? Hope you guys are keeping yourselves at a high frequency and most definitely cleansing the lows. Today I came on here to speak about being aware of the traps out here. And we all can get trapped into the web sometimes. And it's very easy. So I just thought I'd share some things that helped me along my journey. And most definitely we can learn from each other. So you can also put some of the traps that you experienced in your life that you have overcome and don't really partake in too much. So trap number 1 is getting caught up in people. People come and go. Being caught and attached to people, to where it interrupts your inner peace. That's when it becomes a problem. And we have to understand the people are coming through your life. Keyword, through. Doesn't mean that they're all staying for the long haul. People come in your life for different reasons, different seasons, and sometimes to teach you some lessons. And it's about us understanding what the lesson was. Sometimes it can be people that come into your life as a distraction, someone to take you off the path, bring you down to their level. And then sometimes you have people that put on your path to remind you who you are. People that come like with the light at the end of the tunnel for the good of you, to help you see the error in your ways. And sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. But that's what we have to start doing. Regardless of what people want to hear, we have to start speaking what's real. We have to start speaking the truth. We have to start being honest. Because that's the only way a person is going to grow. Regardless of the consequences, regardless if people don't talk to you anymore, or they might, not talk to you for a minute and then catch on later what you were saying, then express their apologies, and you guys move forward, right? But either way, it's about doing the right thing. Sometimes when you see people going through things over and over again and going through those same problems and really trying to figure out why. But if they don't care and they're just going through life and they're really not trying to hear you, sometimes you have to let people live out their life patterns on their own. And that's cool too. But again, we have to understand that everybody has different lessons to learn on their journey. And again, the question becomes, have people been learning their lessons? Or have they been doing the same thing over and over again, year after year? Haven't really passed the test. having to repeat the class. And again, it be like that sometimes. Sometimes you have to go through and repeat certain things. But remember, just a reminder, it's all by choice. And that's when that attachment comes into play, because that's also a trap. Sometimes those attachments to people can be very detrimental to people along their journey in their life paths. Being around the wrong people can be very detrimental on your path, because the influences are real. And if you just look around you and see, what people are about and what they're on, and maybe if you're on it as well at the time, understanding if you're trying to get off of it, it is best to break away from people. And again, because if you're surrounding, you're not strong enough to hang, and you're trying to overcome certain things in your life, it's best to be faced alone. Especially when you're not strong enough and you find yourself stuck in those same patterns, in those same ways. So, people can be very manipulative, and sometimes you don't know who's who. And let me just say, judge people. And not necessarily what I mean by judge, because we're not supposed to judge, but I'm saying, let me take that back word, judge. I'm just going to say, look at people's actions and how they live their life through time. Sometimes people may be going through moments, and just a moment, and then they switch up and do something totally different. They don't do that anymore. People are all learning and growing. But when it becomes detrimental to you on your path, where it's leading you down the path of destruction, it's time for you to take hold of the wheel in your life. Take control of your car. Only you can move it toward the direction that you want it to go. No one is going to help you do that. You have to be the one to decide the company that you keep. And most definitely, if you're on this good journey with them, you're going to find a lot of times where you're learning how to be your own best friend. And how beautiful it is to just be in your own energy. Not to say that you can't be around people, but sometimes you're not going to want to, because people have to live out their own life cycles, and you have to live out yours. And sometimes it's going to require you to grow, to step away sometimes, and go at it alone. And that's okay. Because sometimes it can get a little so-called lonely. But when you come to realization where you realize that you have to be the one to fill your own cup, to be the one to make yourself happy at times. Everyone is not going to make you happy at times. We have to learn how to be with yourself sometimes. And rock with it. And that's okay. Because sometimes in your journey it requires you to be on your own. Because the Most High is showing you things that you can only see. And sometimes that requires you to step away. So, that's one of the traps, people. I'm going to move on. Now we're moving on to the places. Places where people go to cope, to have fun, or what they call fun these days. If it's detrimental for your health, be out here, doing the most. Out here taking in drugs, hard alcohol, just out here. Moving with your sexual, excuse me, moving along with your sexual desires, like whatever, not having control over yourself, going to places you got no business being. In our culture, Dr. Malachi says that if it's not a place where you can really take a child to or your children to, why are you there? Question. Because again, we have to learn how to have clean fun in a way. And I really don't like to use the word fun sometimes, but I'm just using it for the moment. Clean, healthy activities. Stuff for just fun. Bringing out your inner child. Skating, bowling, rock climbing, walks in nature, swimming, fun places, games, things that, and it's many, many more, things that kind of put you in your inner child space sometimes. Sometimes just laugh, just to have a good time. Nothing wrong with that. We have to learn balance. Everything's not always so serious. At times, depending on what we own. But I will say, places you got no business going, around people you got no business being, the adult events, the clubs, parties. Most of the time, people are indulging in things that are not so good. Doing things they got no business doing. We just got to be real with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's be for real. We have to learn what fun is. And the question becomes, if you do that, the question is why? There's other places to go where you can have fun and do things without finding yourself in situations that you got business being. It's all a ripple effect. And all of it is a trap. So I just thought that let that be known. Because most of the time you meet a lot of interesting people, to say the least. And I've been there, and that's why I'm sharing my experience. To help people understand that we have to find other places to go that are more suited for our spiritual, mental, physical well-being. Moving on. Now we're moving on to things that we indulge in. The traps. Remember, when I'm listing these traps, I'm just saying that it's things that we need to move away from slowly, not so much taking in so much of those type of things. To where, if you're really cold with it, eliminate it all, right? But okay, but we're talking to people that could be beginners, and it's harder said than done when people, going through the process. In this journey, it's a process. So, we're going to start with that good old TV, or bad old TV, that whole good old bad old TV. Yeah, I think y'all understand a little bit. But that bad old TV, let's keep it real. Okay. Now, this TV, which tells lies to your vision, by the way, this TV, mindful of what you tuning into. The episodes and things that now that they're putting on the TV that's really not good for you. And putting things in your mind, your subconscious mind that's not good, and have you thinking things and on some things and want to try some things that you really weren't thinking about in the first place until you actually seen that image. It's a power in images. Images is imagery is real. We have to learn that we can, have access to certain things like that. Back in the day when, certain things like that wasn't on the TV. And even if we found something like that on TV, people would cover their eyes or, turn the channel or, don't even watch it at all. But remember, it was a form of innocence. Like, adults were like, no, you're not supposed to be watching this stuff. What are you doing? That's where we need to get back to, where, things are not overly exposed. And it's up to us and our responsibility as people to not allow things to be going on in households, in your life. And again, some people use it for entertainment. But again, and you have control over everything. Like, I'm not doing this stuff. This is just this and that. But again, it still enters your subconscious mind. And again, we have to be mindful of what we put into our bodies, our spirits, our soul. It's very important. And a lot of things are putting in there, subliminal messages and things. And yes, you can learn a lot from a lot of these things. But just, my thing is just be mindful of what you're watching. Not to say you won't watch TV, because I know some people that don't watch TV. I know some people that do. But if you do, just be mindful. And just try to find something that is clean TV. And I don't even know, really going through the channels is not that much, but okay. I'm going to go on from that one. Okay. So the next one is music. You have to be mindful of the music we listen to. Music is very, very important because we're sound beings as well. So being mindful of the music you listen to is important. And that's a trap too, because it enters your subconscious in your mind and your brains, and you're out here, didn't have these thoughts again. That's like the TV didn't have certain thoughts, and now you're doing them. And through time, repetition, you're about to, do certain things that they're saying. These, messed up messages and things, and frequencies and vibrations, killing the brain cells. All of that, not good for your body. So we have to be mindful of that as well. And that's a trap. So we have to, listen to feel-good music that is not so detrimental. Jazz, I listen to sometimes, 90s, sometimes old school, going back further, old school music, R&B. Not necessarily rap like that, because, again, messages be irritating. And the beats be irritating as well. So I can't really listen to stuff like that. And I don't really want to. Anyway, going on. Now we're going to move on to the food. Gotta be mindful what we put in our bodies. Clean foods is where it's at. You gotta start transitioning off of things that are not good and move toward a healthier way of living. Fruits and vegetables. and more intake. More water intake, less meats intake, to where you no meats at all type of thing. That's where it's at. And I'm going to leave it at that. It's more to come. Peace.